Chư Phật Bồ Tát kính thưa Thanh Lương Đại sư Thượng Tiên Hóa, quý thầy cô và quý vị thiện tri thức ca Di Đà Phật. Hello everyone, today is the 21st of September 2025. We're here at DTT, and thank you for joining our assembly that's studying the first chapter of the Avatamsaka Sutra. We're presently on slide 214. It's nearing the end of the verses spoken in the section that talks about the Kumbhanda celestial kings. They are basically at the level of the heavens of first desire heaven that right above us is about 21,000 yojanas. I don't know how many miles that is. You can look it up with ChatGPT. 21,000 yojanas times 40 miles. Okay? Yojana is 40 miles. Just take the average number. Yojana is about 20 to 60 or 80 li. Each li is about 13 miles. You do the math, okay? And then you see how tall up there in the heavens. The closest heaven to us is how far apart we are. Anyone has a calculator? There you go. How many miles is that? No? You can't figure it out? It's too big for your calculator? 21,000 yojanas. Each yojana is 13 li. Each li is about 40 miles. So 550 times 21,000 million miles? Huh? Li is about 13 miles. Yojana is about 20 to 60 li. Okay, anyway, so that's where the celestial kings dwell, they reside in, yes? Really? I don't know where you got the information. My information came from Master Shinhua. All due respect, I don't trust you. It's a matter of authority, you know, credibility. Okay, never mind. Okay, and so it's up there. I don't know if the current AI information have how tall Mount Sumeru is. Mount Sumeru is about 42,000 yojanas. Okay, and that's however high up there. Yeah, thank you. All right, we can figure it out later. All right, you're not even an engineer, are you? Okay, never mind. Now, so this first desire heavens, there are lots of heavens up there, and so this is they have a very strong connections with us. All right, and that's the leaders of these certain troublemakers live up there. The ghosts and spirits, the ghosts in particular, they cause a lot of trouble down here, but when the heavenly decrees pass down, they really obey. So that's why. All right. That's going to the last part of the verses for the Kumbhanda celestial kings. All right. Wishing to bring security and bliss to sentient beings, he cultivates great compassion for measureless eons.
唯欲安乐诸众生，修行大悲无量劫。
With various skilled means, he relieves the pain. Flowers of purity sees thus.
种种方便除众苦，如是净华之所见。
Okay. 216. Wishing to bring Anla. Anla is Anlat. That's same is a Vietnamese version of the Chinese word. And Master XC was there this morning. So An is security, safety. Le is bliss to sentient beings. Right here, it tells you the sentient beings crave for An Le, for security and bliss. They can have money. They can buy a lot of things. They can eat a lot of good food. But they still thirst for An Le, for peace and bliss. Isn't that interesting? We learn how to acquire a lot of things, but we never could really learn when we went to school how to develop An Le. Okay, and this is why we are unhappy. If you don't have An Le, you don't have peace and bliss, you cannot be happy, no matter how great a merit you have. Okay, it enhances your quality of life, if you will. Okay, this is why the Buddha says the living beings, they are thirsting for this An Le, this peace and bliss. And what it means is that they don't have enough of it. What it also means, if you want to ask me a little bit further, the more An Le, the more peace and bliss you have, the better your quality of life. Okay? And I don't know what message you are talking about, sorrow, pain, and so forth. Okay. As the old internal conflicts. Okay. So the translation, I made a note here, and this is my note. It says actually the bliss as opposed to joy. The original translation, because the translation was done a long time ago, like 40, 50 years ago. So the early disciples of Master Hsuan were not quite clear about the difference between joy and bliss. Okay? And that's why I corrected from joy to bliss, and I made a few corrections. Okay? And it's talking about bliss here. And because he cultivates great compassion for measureless eons. Okay, so how do you cultivate great compassion? Why are we so quiet? Is it because we're sleepy? Okay, I forgive you. How do you cultivate great compassion? You don't have to be a Buddha to cultivate great compassion. He says here that the Buddha, when he first started, when he reached a certain level of skills, when he's strong enough, that's when he started to pay attention to cultivate great compassion. Below that, it's difficult for you to be compassionate, but when you reach a certain level, you have to cultivate great compassion. That's a requirement. You can no longer ignore others' suffering. That's how you cultivate great compassion. You can cultivate until you get there. You say, I am so unhappy. I'm suffering so much, and it's overwhelming to me. Okay? Case in point, leg pains, anyone? Yeah, me too. How about hunger? Me too. Okay, and so forth. So when you have so much suffering, you're overwhelmed. Okay? Therefore, never mind about cultivating great compassion. You're just trying to extinguish your suffering. But once you reach a certain level, this is very important. Don't talk about I'm doing great compassion, because until you reach a certain level, you can't. It's all talk. So when you reach a certain level, the Buddha, then you don't have to be a Buddha. Then you start to cultivate great compassion, as the clue I just gave you. How do you cultivate great compassion? Because how? Yes, one.
Is it by suffering with other living beings?
Wow, it sounds awful. Who's going to want to cultivate if you suffer? You cultivate great compassion, you suffer. When you talk like that, they started suffering because you ask them to cross their legs, and they suffer so much, and after you reach a certain level, you can continue to suffer more. Doesn't sound right. It sounds like masochism instead of wisdom. How do you cultivate great compassion? The requirement for you, yes. Number 4.
Tofo Master, I think I'm reading the slides over there to get some answers. So I think it's by
You can use these clues. I'm sometimes, especially on Sundays, I eat so well, I don't care to read. Reading takes so much out of me. I look at let's ignore it.
Right. So you cultivate great compassion by taking on more and more practices and do it for a really, really long time.
Yeah, for a long, long time. Very good. Okay, but that's you explaining measureless eons. Explaining cultivate great compassion. You see? You should not follow everything he says. I ignore it because it's not giving me what I want. How do you cultivate great compassion? What is fundamental to having great compassion? Never mind the cultivation, just having great compassion. What is the requirement? Number 1 requirement. Number 3.
Amitabha Master. Well, I have a question. In what level is possible to cultivate or practice great compassion?
You'll find out. Okay, anyone else? Because if I keep on giving you all the answers, and then if everyone says, "Oh, it's too far away," forget it. I'm not going there. Yes, 3.
Thank you, Master. I guess it's by helping others, make a connection with others.
Okay, you could do the same thing by signing up to Tinder. Yes, 1.
Is a be of the same substance.
Be the same substance, straight from the Buddhist dictionary. Okay, the young Sacramento person. Use sign language, we can.
Hello, Master. We cultivate great compassion by sacrifice for others.
Okay, it's getting close. Yeah, but it's not what I'm looking for. It sounds too scary. You say, "Oh, I need to make sacrifices," and who's going to cultivate with you? That you go home and you tell your husband or your boyfriend, that's cultivate great compassion. And the boy says, "Oh, that sounds so good. What do I do?" I want you to make sacrifices. And that's the last time you see him. Yes, 3.
Thank you, Master. Maybe to put oneself in someone else's shoes. I mean, like empathize with other, try to understand
How do you
other.
put yourself in you are Hispanics.
Yeah, it's
How put yourself in a Chinese person's shoes?
well,
It sounds good, but let's be practical. How do you put yourself in Chinese shoes?
trying to empathize with the affliction of the other person to understand.
We're getting close.
By
We're getting close. Very,
listening.
very good. Okay. Don't overdo it. Okay. Anyone else? How do you cultivate great compassion? It's very fundamental that people talk and talk and talk, but they fail to see what it takes to practice great compassion. You see, keep on talking. Even Master Sheo talks about this, but he doesn't really explain to you the intricacies of the process. Everyone say, yeah, I am practicing great compassion. I look, how are you practicing great compassion? And I don't see you practicing great compassion. Go ahead, Lloyd. Are you practicing great compassion?
I don't know. Yes, Master. I'm guessing. Look at other suffering.
Look at all the suffering. So instead of watching James Bond movies, you look at other. Oh, you suffer. How interesting.
So you have to feel it in order to be compassionate.
That's my boy. What happened to the old women, the great minds of the women over here? Only my boys, the men, get it. Maybe you used to giving suffering and not experiencing suffering. That's the difference, folks. This is very important. Okay? In order, what is great compassion? Great compassion is that the definition is you be one substance and so forth. What does it mean to be one substance with others? It means that you can feel when they suffer. That's what it means. You don't just say, I'm the same substance as you. Well, look at you, you woman, me not woman. How I can be substance to you? Okay? What it means is that, is it clear to you? The Buddhist dictionary, everyone, all the Dharma messages, having a great compassion is to be one substance with the others. Yeah? You can read it anywhere. However, it doesn't mean anything to me. Being one substance has to be more specific. It means that I can feel your suffering. Meaning what? When you suffer, I need to feel the same suffering. Otherwise, I cannot have great compassion for you. Is that clear? If like you married to your husband, your husband suffers, and you women, please pay attention. Okay? When your husband suffers, don't say, honey, here's some aspirins. You hold him in your hand. How romantic, huh? And you say, oh, I suffer with you, honey. And that's great compassion, folks. It's not talk. Do we understand each other, huh? Women? I don't know. I mean, how do you feel, Lloyd, about that? You too political. Sometimes you have to go out on a limb to make a point for the future generation, your children, and so forth. Is that clear? So, we have to experience what the pain that you're experiencing for us to really feel how difficult it is for you. Okay? There's a magic for it, behind it. If you feel, you experience the pain and suffering yourself, then you say you'll be in the best position to figure out how to relieve it. So Buddhas have been doing this for measureless eons, meaning he's been suffering with us all this time. He doesn't talk about it. Okay? He doesn't say, oh, I want to make you suffer. So, in other words, ladies, pay attention. When men make you suffer, they're helping you practice great compassion. You don't believe me? Stop blaming us. We being helpful. The men are not even applauding. Isn't that interesting? Buddhas, he has to go from long distance to come to you and say, oh, I want to feel your suffering. You are so close to your husband and your boyfriend and so forth. When they make you suffer, embrace it. I love you so much. You're helping me. And we bring happiness to the world. Think about it. If you ladies can do that, imagine there'll be no divorces, no fight. Huh? Wouldn't that's truly peace on earth. And they're not buying this. These such a hard sells, It's so cynical. Okay? Just how difficult it is. You see, even you, when I propose great compassion to you, you say, I don't know. Imagine the Buddha has to do this for measureless eons. Isn't that cool? We may not be able to do that because we find it difficult to do, but look, the Buddha has been doing it for so long. He's really a superior person, don't you think? This deserves our attention. He's able to do things that we find hard to digest. I just talk about, your husband, and you are all having so much difficulties already. Oh, God. With various skilled means, he relieves the pain. Actually, what he's talking about. When you practice compassion, two parts. Number one, you feel the same pain as they are feeling. Okay? Meaning that, like in some cases I heard stories of daddies when they have their daughter who was sick, having a fever. I heard this man here in Vietnam, his favorite daughter, his eldest daughter, she was sick and he loved her to death. So what did he do? He came back from work. He's like a lieutenant colonel, Vietnamese armed forces, that's a war at that time. And then he would say, where's my daughter? So, daddy, I'm not feeling good. And so what daddy did, he put her on his shoulders, okay, and sucked her fever into his body. And then he walked back and thought, yes, honey, I'm here for you. Daddy's here for you. Okay? And until she falls asleep. And he puts her down gently. Okay? And then pull a blanket over her. Okay? And sit by a chair right next to her bed, holding her hands. Oh, my baby. Isn't it beautiful how much a daddy can love his daughter? And you know what? She could never love another man. He could not find another man who loves her as much. But despair not. It's just wonderful to be able to experience that kind of love, isn't it? Okay? Look, I just gave you something very personal to some people, but the Buddha, that's what he does. He experiences your pain. Remember, first slide, he says, I need to know how much you suffer. So that lieutenant colonels there. He really could not feel the fever of his daughter, not yet, but Buddha would come and feel our suffering. Okay? Really feel our suffering. Whatever you suffer, he feels exactly the same thing. So far, so good. This is very, very precise. And then, with various skill and means, relieves the pain. The suffering is not the pain. This is the suffering. This is actually their sufferings. All receive all their suffering. Okay? Yeah. It's actually a translation to be, she relieves all their sufferings. So he has to feel our sufferings, so he knows the severity of our suffering, and then relieves all of our sufferings, meaning that if you are just having a minor depression, okay, then he wants to feel it, and he will find a way to relieve the suffering, because he then feels that your suffering is gone. You understand that? When he feels your suffering, he also feels when it's gone, when it's getting better, and when it's lessened. You see that? He's with us. Think about it. I want you to see the story, hear the story about the lieutenant colonel, because I used to date her, by the way. That's why she told me this story. That's why I look at her. I've never been able to replace your daddy, okay? Let's get this straight. I would never be able to replace your daddy. And that's why I chose not to marry her. But I'm still romantic. Okay, so the point here is that he feels the suffering, okay? And then he relieves the suffering until it's gone. Is that clear? This is what Buddhas do. If you really care for someone, that's what you do, folks. You cannot tell me that Buddha cares less about you. No. He cares about you. Whether you're his wife or he's a total stranger, he cares for you. Isn't that interesting? What kind of person can be like that? The only person in this world is a Buddha who can be like that. Okay? For us, we take care of our wives, our husbands, because there's something there, right? There's a bond there. But Buddhas, he can take care of everyone. Doesn't matter. Okay? No discrimination. All right? So he relieves all their suffering, okay? And not just the pain, all the suffering, okay? By various skill and means. Fourth aspect of this process, what he does, is he relieves your suffering, and there's a way to do that. He developed the wisdom to do it very well. Is that clear? Let me give you an example. The Bodhisattvas and the Buddhas, what's the difference? The Buddhas, he relieves your suffering right away. Bodhisattvas, okay, they use skill and means too to relieve all your suffering. But the difference between Bodhisattvas and Buddhas is what? Sometimes when Bodhisattvas don't like you, they take their time. They say, please come back, call back tomorrow, we open at 9. But Buddhas, they help you right away. It's true. This is why the Bodhisattvas are not Buddhas yet. So Buddhas, and after that, they feel guilty. They say, oh my God, this person, she's suffering so much for 12 hours before we open. I feel ashamed of myself, shame, remorse. Okay, so far so good. Okay, flowers of purities cease thus. Any questions? Isn't that cool? This is a different world, folks. These are really, if you want about superior people, their thinking, their behavior, it's quite different from us. You know, he drives you a little bit and he complains that, you know, it's a very long drive for me and I have to work tomorrow. You know? Whereas Buddhas and Bodhisattvas, they help one living being after another, after another, after another. And, you know, think about it. I know I glossed over a little bit because I didn't want to scare you. What does it mean to feel your suffering? You really suffer. And it's very, very tough on you, trust me. You know, very tough on you. After you do it one person, one living being, you say, next. You know, and this is when you want to go, why am I doing this again? I don't know about you, but my disciples, they keep on asking me, why are we doing this? All right, next section, 220. The self-mastery of this spiritual power is inconceivable. His body appears universally in the 10 directions.
神通自在不思议，其身普现遍十方。
All right, next. Yet neither arrives nor departs. King Vast-Visage understands thus.
而于一切无来去，此广灭亡，心所了。
Before we go into this, what does it mean thus? I know we've seen this a lot, and no one ever bothered asking me thus. And what is the meaning of thus? He says, this understands thus, attains thus, sees thus, feels thus. What's thus? Anyone? See, I know I don't expect you to understand it. That's why I'm pointing it out to you. Okay? Can I point it out to you before you could raise your hands and speak a lot of nonsense? Save some time. Time is precious. We want to discuss things you can learn. Okay. Understands thus, meaning he can understand without thinking. For you think before you understand. Buddhas do not think. They simply understand. Okay? So this person, when you see understands thus, it means tremendous level of wisdom. Don't think this person is ordinary person at all. If you see this person sees thus, understands thus, okay, this person has incredible wisdom. It's not like us. There's a difference between us and thus. So far, so good? All right. Just in case you have to, you have enough of this. Okay? The self-mastery, his spiritual power is inconceivable. Okay. Again, I ate well today, so I don't feel like reading, so feel free to read. Okay? When you feed me too well, I become lazy. I gotta warn you. Okay? The self-mastery, the spiritual power is inconceivable. Are you done reading? Don't fall asleep now. Okay? So, I'm just going by the first lines. I'm not cheating, okay? You feel free to read, okay? So this is why I'm keeping you busy so that you don't fall asleep. But let me go to work then. Okay. Spiritual powers. There's a lot of fascination about spiritual powers. Okay, like Master C, he knows a lot of people who can see this, can see that, and it's very impressive. They see ghosts, they see all sorts of beings, okay, and it's so many people who can do that, okay. Even XE, what happened to XE? She's not even here. Okay, she sees things. She says, there's 20 young men out there on 33rd Avenue, right there, and they're blocking. They probably are blocking others from coming to DTT. I say, oh, thank you. So if you cannot come in, call XE. Okay, so a lot of beings. Seeing is about, because the vision, as you know, our vision, the human vision, has this certain bandwidth, a certain frequency. But there are the frequencies. So the ghosts are at a different frequency. That's why you cannot see them. That's all there is to it. So when you meditate, you practice, it's going to happen to all of you. You will see things naturally. You see ghosts, you see dragon, you see, that's the next section, by the way. I don't think I have time to go in the dragon section. I'm just do advertising for you. So it's natural for you to see, okay? And it's not a big deal, not just us Buddhists, but the non-Buddhists also can see, because it basically, your mind flips, and it's now is able to operate at a different frequency. That's why you can see things that are supposedly to be invisible to us, because it's outside our range. That's what we call the invisible. Actually, it's just a different frequency. That's all. Am I correct, anyone? So far, so good? Okay, so seeing all those things that's a natural thing. That's also called spiritual power. You can see things that ordinary people don't normally see. You can do a lot of other things as well. But that's all spiritual powers. And nowadays, a lot of people who practice are really enamored, impressed by spiritual powers. Okay, so recently I was at lunch, and one of my disciples, was a disciple, I don't remember, is he my disciple or not? Sometimes I'm not sure. He says, this rich man in San Jose, he's kind of practicing Taoism, and he's really enamored with spiritual penetrations, so he thinks he's very special. And so he can, without touching you, he can make you feel very hot. You're not impressed. See, this is what happens. I preface it and say, yeah, whoopee. How does making me feel hot help me? Okay, same thing with the people who say that I can see ghosts and can see young men there. My retort is that, can you see the Super Lotto? This week's Super Lotto. I like to do that. Can you see the stock here I'm thinking of buying? Okay, how high it's going to go before it drops, and then it'll drop down. How low it's going to drop before it goes up? If you can tell me that, I can make a lot of money very quickly and take the rest of the year off. Right? And so, seeing men, child, yeah, so what? You see a dragon, so what? Become a dragon. Okay? And so, why am I talking about spiritual penetrations? Because in our practices, we never emphasize spiritual penetration, spiritual powers, because they get in the way of your progress. Because once you have it, once you're able to see, you just, as soon as you open your eyes, you want to see things. And you ask yourself, how come I haven't seen anything until I came to DTT? You see, what's wrong with that statement? It's like in the back of her mind, she says, I'm supposed to see things. Every now and then, I'm supposed to see things. Where is she, by the way? She's new here, so I want to correct her, put her on the right path. Okay? Did you see the subtlety when you see? And then you say, it has been 2 weeks, I haven't been able to see anything. What's wrong with me? Got that? Okay, what about the guy who says, I can warm you up? It's 85 degrees right now, don't warm me up. Jesus Christ. Huh? And for those people, if you want, I teach you, okay? If he tries to warm you up, you fry him. You push it right back. You warm, not me. That's fun. You guys say, yeah, these people think it's so special. It's not. But what we're talking about here is special. That's different. I want you to understand the difference here. Spiritual powers that the Buddha talked about arise from what? Wisdom. When the Buddha uses his spiritual powers because he is wise, he says, I need to help this person this way. And the spiritual powers manifest naturally, without thinking. He doesn't sit there and say, I haven't seen for a long, long time. As soon as he wants to see, he sees. Okay? That's the kind of spiritual powers we're talking about. I want you to understand the clear distinction here. If you practice meditation and bowing and so forth, and you hear people saying, I can see, I can hear, and so forth, ignore it, because they are stuck. That's why they bring it up. If you're not stuck, you see as if you don't see. Is that clear? Because Buddha uses spiritual powers, he doesn't say, oh, it's so cool, I can have spiritual powers. He uses it because it's for you, it's not for him. You see the difference? So what's the difference between the spiritual powers, which will happen naturally because of your wisdom, versus the spiritual powers with someone who has no wisdom? What's the difference? I want to put this thing to rest once for all, because a lot of my disciples said, Master, you certified me to be high and high and high and so forth, but I cannot see, I cannot hear. Whether these people that can see and hear, I don't know what to say. Don't say anything. Say, oh, how wonderful. Can you see the super lotto? Can you hear heavenly music? Can you see the dragon? Can you see me? You can see what's behind me? Okay? Got that? Okay, so what's the difference of someone, these people who keep on seeing and hearing things? They hear and see things because they are full of themselves. All of you can see, can hear too. Right now. I can show you. But I need to be convinced. Okay? Yeah. But you don't want it because you don't have the wisdom yet. Once you have these things, you become greedy. And that's it. It's the worst thing that happen to you is you'll be stuck. Okay? You gain so little, And you're missing out on so much wonderful things, true happiness, true joy in life. Why would you do that? Why would you be so interested in trying to impress people? You say, you know, I just saw the kid sitting right next to you. Did you have an abortion? It's a private thing. Don't talk about it. There's a question here anyway. Yes, 3.
Thank you, Master. Can I ask a question about feeling husband's suffering? So,
Yeah, you can.
So I will give my husband a hug every day before he need to go to work.
Before work or after work?
Before he needs to go to work.
No wonder he adores you. God, you know how to do it.
Because I know he's suffering from the job, a lot of pressure.
Yeah.
I know he needs that, so I do that.
Yeah.
But
no wonder he's addicted to you. Now he wants to follow you to the Pureland.
But I feel in the deep inside of me, I disapprove his suffering.
Disapprove?
Yeah, I will think that's the people should to do to make live right. Everyone need to do the job, and you shouldn't so suffering from your job.
You're so selfish. My God.
Yeah.
Great compassion is that you don't need a reason. You have no compassion at all. If you see suffering, you relieve suffering, that's it. It's no rhyme or reason. Buddhas don't say, he deserves to suffer. Could you believe he's such a bad person? He should suffer more. God, that is cruel.
It seems like I can separate I know you are suffering, I can do something for you, but I still feel you shouldn't suffering. So what's wrong with me?
What's wrong with you? I asked the same question. Can't you? You don't need a reason. Great compassion is that when someone suffers, you find a way to relieve it for them. That's all. No rhyme or reason. And one day, it's because when you're not strong enough, the Buddha, he's strong. He relieves suffering because it's what he does. But for us, we have limitations, right? So maybe can I paraphrase? The question is how and when? How much should I relieve the suffering? Okay? It's a constructive thing that you're supposed to do before you become a Buddha. Got that? My teacher is very close to the Buddha. That's why when he sees people suffering, he relieves it. You don't need a reason with him. Okay? Because he's close to the Buddha now. So that's what he does. You sick, I take your sickness from you. That's what he does. That's why he died at the age of 74. Okay? I will live longer because I refuse to do that. So you see the difference in levels. You see that? Because I still calculate. I say, I don't know. It looks like it's a lot of pain for me. I'm not sure I can handle it. Okay? Whereas he doesn't care. He say, give it to me. Daddy's here. It's so interesting, fascinating. I want you to understand that world of these great beings. They're very special. Okay? And we'll go back to your world very soon. Don't worry. Okay? But we have to start somewhere to get there, right? So yes, you hug him a hug. Okay. Why don't you do that next time? Okay? That's tomorrow morning. Okay? And what time do you do that? 7 a.m. or 9 a.m.? Anyway, don't tell me. When you give him a hug, okay? When he's in a bad mood, he's suffering, I teach you a thing. Would you like to learn? Men, you can ignore this. Pretend you never hear this. Okay? It's only for women. Because once you know, you have to do it. Would you like to plug your ears? God. Such a cold world. What you do is that when you see your kid, your husband suffering, okay, when you practice Chan meditation, you have the ability to suck it. Shh. When they're suffering, when they're so upset, when the kid, what happened to Ija? She's gone, right? And there you go, yeah. And that kid was screaming, crying, and said, "Oh, I'm dying, mother. You don't care. You don't love me, do you?" Okay? It's a lot of suffering. You don't need a reason, okay? And you don't judge your kid, right? But you judge your husband. This is why you women are just so difficult to live with. Can't live with? I can't live with how? What you do, okay, this is why we practice meditation. We go to the hardship here, and we can't walk after we cross our legs. And the husband asks, "Why are you doing this?" One day, you can tell him, "This is why, because I can take your suffering from you and give you relief." And when you do that, the suffering is this much, it decreases. Pain, anxiety, anger, all sorts of afflictions, you hug him and say, "Let me take it from you." And you concentrate in your navel, and you say, and you and him become one. And don't hold too long because you're going to die. Okay? You got that? If you do it, especially on days where he's really suffering a lot, you do it often enough, he'll notice a difference, that you actually give him relief. This is why we're doing this, folks. Because you can relieve the pain by taking it. Like my teacher. My teacher takes your sickness and his body becomes sick so that your body's healthy. That's what he does. So when he sees you, he says, "Be well." And what he's doing, he's sucking it. He goes like this, "Be well." Suck it up. But he has kung fu, you don't. You're different, okay? So for you, it's better to hug and say, "I love you." Okay, go take a shower. Yes, one.
Do we really have to touch them?
It's much more powerful if you hug them. Much more powerful. And they may not feel it. I assure you, it is a transfer. Okay? When you go to navel, it transfers to you. Jung, now you have to get married. Because you're learning things. I'm sorry. I'm paying more attention to married people who have wisdom, who are interested in becoming married. You are just hopeless. Okay? It's fun, folks. We're doing this because we're developing abilities to help for real. It's not talk. Isn't that cool? It's very personal. We care. We really care. I love you, I love you, I love you. And you're going to be sorry after that. But then, after, you cross your legs, you meditate to recover. All right? We can recover. That's what we are supposed to do. We suffer, but we can recover faster. Okay? Don't worry. If you do it to your husband, your boyfriend, okay, you recover. Have no fear. Okay? Isn't that cool? And stop judging him. Jeez. Yeah. Finally, why are we doing this? We're doing this because it makes sense. If your husband is a good person, he may have a lot of flaws, but fundamentally he's a good person, then it's worth it. But if your husband is evil, I would run. Because, and I'm not advocating divorces or anything, I'm advocating that life must be constructive. If someone's life is constructive, because we are not the Buddhas, we cannot be indiscriminate. Buddha, he doesn't care. You evil, you good, he doesn't care. He helps everyone. Okay? But we are not there yet. We need to be careful. We want to be constructive with our lives, with what we do. Okay? In other words, you avoid being destructive. Okay? So that's why for us, because we have limited strength, we have limited wisdom, therefore we should restrict ourselves to helping good people. It's safer. And then it's worth it. It's helpful to you. If you happen to help evil people, you are exposing yourself to a lot of things that you cannot handle. Okay? It's very dangerous. That's all. So that's why I'm saying, if your husband is a good person, okay, definitely worth it. Stop judging. And when you do that, actually, eventually, he'll appreciate it more and he'll change for the better. I'm not teaching you this to impress your husband or hook up man or something. No, it's constructive. You strengthen relationships. You becomes more constructive. Okay, that's part of cultivation. Okay, be happy. Okay, namaste. Yeah, that's right. Okay, have you read things? Is spiritual hours here? Would you like me to go through this, or you want me to continue my speech? You didn't even read this? Yes, one.
Master, the translation here, is it really the self-mastery of the spiritual power, or there are two parallel things?
It's not. Spiritual power has no self-mastery. Thank you for pointing it out. Okay, and this is the thing with these translations. The more I use their materials, I realize it's very subtle mistakes that distorts the Dharma. And I thank you. Okay, actually, what he's talking about is the self-mastery is inconceivable. His spiritual powers is also inconceivable. That's what it means in Chinese. When in English, it's off. Okay? We should change it. You people in the back, get to work. His self-mastery and spiritual powers are inconceivable. That should be the translation. Okay? Lucky for you, it's only 2 lines you need to change. One here and one to the front. Got that? All right. Go ahead and correct it, okay? And we're going to move on. Okay, we talk about self-mastery, okay? When you have spiritual powers and you help people, okay, there are some consequences, okay? What happens to us is that when we help people, well, the way I teach you, okay, it really has a very adverse effect on you because you're actually taking a lot of ik into your body, okay? And you will be afflicted. Okay? And that's why the Buddha, when he does that, he's not afflicted at all. Okay? His self-mastery, meaning that whatever he does, nothing bothers him. It's so cool. Yell at him, scream at him, doesn't bother him. Beat him up, hurt him, shoot at him, he's not bothered. That's why he's able to help. All right? Because if you don't have self-mastery, the consequences that come back to you, okay, will make you think twice next time around. And that's what you experience when you do this a few times. Whoa, maybe once in a blue moon, but not every day. Okay, once a week. And then becomes once a month and once a year. Okay? So that's why the meaning of self-mastery here is that he is not bothered by the consequences of helping others. So far, so good? And I want you, today I'm in a good mood, maybe because of lunch or whatever the reasons. That's why I want you to feel free to experiment. Don't be afraid, because what I taught you about the hugging Dharma, okay? First of all, for the record, I want all of you, whoever sees this video here, not to mistake hugging your husband with hugging a tree. Now be clear about this, okay? When you hug a tree, it's different from hugging your husband. Very different, okay? One is an act of love, hugging a tree, and the other, wait, that's the other way around. Never mind, let's not go there. Okay, so there's a clear difference between that you actually are helping someone, okay? And I want you to do that with that kind of mindset that I'm helping someone that I care for. I want to share the suffering, okay? Yeah, with the little what I can do. I want to do it. Yes, Wei Mao.
Mấy cái người có tâm hồn cô đơn như chúng con phải ôm cái gì thưa thầy?
What?
For those who is lonely soul like us, what should we hug?
Help a cat. Okay? Yeah. And you notice, I look at you, women have very good husbands, and some of the people I look here, the wives are debatable. That's why I mentioned the word good wives only. Do we understand each other? Make no mistake about it. Muxiong. Have you been translating for him? He's not even laughing. All right. Okay, next section. His body appears universally in 10 directions. Yes, 3. Looks like they don't want you to speak. 3. Hello, leopard.
Thank you, Master. And this Dharma you just teach us to help our family or whatever.
Whatever?
Whatever.
You have a bad attitude. It's not forever.
No.
Whatever. God.
Is possible to use in any kind of affliction or disease?
Deceased? No, you better help a living person.
No. Sicknesses?
No, you don't want to help with sicknesses. That's very dangerous.
Only afflictions?
Only afflictions.
Okay, thank you.
Yeah. She's talking me afflictions. Thank you for helping me clarify it. Do not hug your husband and say, let me take your cancer for you. Please don't ever do that. You're going to die. Okay? This is not something you want to do. Absolutely not. Unless you're a doctor, then sayonara. Best of luck to you. Yes, 1.
Master, and for example, if the person has flu or like a not very serious disease?
Yeah, if you can try, but...
Thank you.
But now you're thinking, is this curable? Then you say, I only take the things that are light, the thing heavy I do not want to take. So now you're thinking too much, okay? So it's best not to discriminate, okay? When they feel lonely, they feel afflicted, that's when you help them a little, okay? But don't be stupid and suck up all their diseases, you die. And don't come to me and say, you taught me! Okay, anyone else? Okay. His body appears universally in 10 directions. He has to go everywhere to help. And this is, I know it's a Buddha state, but at our levels, I want you to understand that this is why you, all of us, especially left home people, we need to go. We cannot sit here and wait. Okay? You have to go to Korea, you have to go to Japan, you have to go to East Coast, you have to go everywhere to help. That's a requirement. Okay? We have to go all over where we are allowed to go and be ourselves. We don't go to places where they put restrictions on our work. We don't do that. Okay? We don't go to places where they don't respect women. They put laws and customs that are not respectful of women. We don't go. Okay? So it has to be a certain type of environment where you go. However, for the body of the Buddha, he goes everywhere. Okay? Remember where we are. Don't overdo it. Okay? Just the mere fact you can go to, where are we? Here, and we go to, just to name a place, Sacramento. It's bad enough already. Okay? We still hesitate. Got that? Okay. Yet neither arrives nor departs. 无来无去. Actually, when he body appears in the 10 directions, okay, Buddhas actually doesn't come nor go at all. And that's what all you have to remember, all you have to memorize is, don't try to understand. This is a mistake that people make, is that, how come you can go and you here and you're not here? You're there but you're not there. And you're here and there at the same time. It's too complicated. Just, it's not for you. Okay? Just understand for now. Not stupid person in particular. Okay? He doesn't come nor goes. No coming nor going. That's all. And one day, when you're there, you say, that's what he means. Okay? To try to explain to you, it's just too messy. To me, it's way too messy. Okay? All right? See, now she's hugging already. Look at them. And you notice, they love it, by the way. They love it. Even though you're not sucking much, they still love it. And this is what is missing. Yeah. In society, too much distances. I'm not moving away place, Professor Dharma realm, away place, in my 10 directions. Okay, that's Buddha's. Okay, it's true. But when you get there, you see, you don't have to get there to understand this. We have to understand that this is, can I explain to you very simply as middle way. You don't understand. But this is actually the ultimate manifestation of the middle way. When you see, for example, to give you another example, when you see coming and going, okay, it's to you, there's coming and going, there's opposites, right? But to Buddha, it's no opposites. It's the same. That's one aspect that the Chinese don't explain. If I'm forced to explain it another way, okay, the middle way, because since last night, I think I explained about last night, and my disciples bothered me to death. They text me saying, so what do you mean by this? Or is it this? Or is this? So my phone is pinging. So you know what I did? Upgraded to iOS 26. Took 3 hours. I had peace for 3 hours. For 3 hours, no ping, 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 ping. There's always antidote, you know. I don't know what's going to happen tonight, but I put it in the mattress. Okay. Now, yes, YouTube comment.
마스터 감사합니다. 어제 유마경 강설에서 연에 따르는 것이 중도라고 들었습니다. 연에 따르는 것이 주어진 상황에 순응하는 것인가요? 아직 지혜가 없어 이것이 내가 연에 따르는 것인지 아닌지 스스로 알 수 없을 때는 어떻게 하면 되나요? 유슈님의 질문입니다.
Master, yesterday afternoon lecture, you mentioned about the middle way. Middle way is following the conditions. So is that mean following my situation? Someone who doesn't know about this, what should we do?
See what I mean? It's non-stop. I mean, it'll never end. Okay? As soon as I open this can of worms, let me explain this to you once for all, and probably it won't work. Okay, my teacher, this is why I finally realized, my teacher did not talk much about middle way. The other monks did not talk much about middle way because there's no end to it. You guys get confused. It's not the way you think is ultimately what it is. It's there, but it's not there. It's not there, but it's there. How's that? Okay? You see it going, but there's no going. See it coming, but there's no coming. Why is it possible? Yes, it is. It's possible because your mind is discriminating. Okay? Your mind is constantly calculating. This is no good, this is good, this is no good, good, this is more advantageous, is that this advantageous, I like this, I don't like this, and so forth and so forth. Okay? This is a gain, this is a loss, and so forth. Your mind is constantly calculating, and that's why you cannot understand. So, what it boils down to, if you ask me finally what is my final explanation of the middle way, is number one, it's not the way you think. I'm serious. If you think a certain way, I look at you and say, no, it's not the way you think. First of all, let me look. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. There's no exception today, okay? Each and every one of you, look at me in the eyes. Okay? It's not the way you think. So far, so good. And that has to be a follow-up for that. It's a question. I tell you next week. Why? What's so funny? Its time is up. 5 minutes. Why are we fast? Oops, my clock says 2 p.m. So, it's not the way you think. The middle way is not the way you think. Okay? Because there's no way to explain to you. Cannot explain to you. This is why they don't talk about it. But I found myself because my master never explained it, and when the way I follow his style of explanation, it reached a certain point, then I said, oh, how can I help these people break free of his limitations? His teaching style has limitations. I said, how can I break through? The only way to break through is middle way. So I've been teaching middle way for how many years, you think? Since yesterday. Is that clear? What if I were to tell you, I started teaching the middle way about 4 years ago? You couldn't tell the difference, could you? See? That's my proof. You see me doing the same thing as before, but I started teaching middle way about 4 years ago. And you saw the same thing. So before, it's Mahastrina style. Practically 95% the same. Okay? And then I started switching. You cannot tell the difference, could you? That's why I rest my case. It's not the way you think. You thought that I've been teaching the same thing and continue? No, it's totally different. So far, so good? So, therefore, the conclusion is, do you believe? You don't believe, you don't benefit from a middle way. Bottom line. It's you. It's not my fault. You like it, huh? Chung? This is so cool, huh? Go hug someone. Okay? Can I finish it? And this guy understands us. We explained this already. Okay? Are we cool? Are we still together? Huh? Everyone? Huh? Are we happy? So happy together. Okay, thank you everyone. See you next time. Be happy, okay?